This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Potsy and Tino on the Potsy and Tino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pan Network proudly brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Potsy and Tino Show. That's right. He's Tino Gray. I'm Rob Potsy Podcheck. Our theme song, as always, is brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. That was Cody Rhodes from the Bullet Club, now AEW, the Elite. Tino, we got a lot that's been going on. I mean, it's been about 10 days since we did an episode, and we've gotten the SuperStar shakeup. Apparently, they shook it up again. It was almost like the dust finally settled, and some people that showed up on one show showed back up on an old show, and what have you. But on top of that, man, like, what's been going on with you?
Not a whole lot. Haley got accepted to that. We've spoken since Haley got accepted to UNCG.
Yes, she had gotten accepted by them, had not been accepted by ECU.
Yeah, so she got accepted to UNCG, and she went ahead and did her, she said, okay, I'll go to UNCG, and then yesterday, she got a letter from ECU saying, hey, you are accepted. So, but she decided she's just gonna go to UNCG.
Does it have a program more in line with what she wants to do?
I think it's more along line. Yeah, it's still it's education because she wants to be a teacher. But I think she's looking at UNCG because it's a smaller campus, smaller classrooms. It's not so big. It's 5 minutes from her grandparents. So she wants a home cooked meal.
So someone gets to check in on her, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what Dad likes.
Gotcha. All right. So how's Matthew doing? How's Nicole?
Nicole's good. She's in there. She's tired. She's in her room doing some schoolwork. Matthew's already in bed. He's counting down the days to school's over. He's like, I think they have like 30 days left to school, so he's ready and excited to get out and start doing the summer things that little kids are ready for. You know what I mean?
Do they actually still do any of that stuff? I mean, all they want to do is sit inside and play video games now, right?
Well, he does do that too, but he has he now has little friends around the neighborhood, so he will go outside and get lost. They found a baby bird that fell out of a bird's nest the other day and had in a box. So him and his friends were trying to find stuff to build a nest and digging in my front yard looking for worms to try to feed this baby bird. I'm like, son. So boy stuff.
So when are we going to find out that the bird died is what I want to know.
I hadn't seen much about that bird. Next couple I need to talk to Nicole. I think he probably is gone. And then the other night we had an impromptu date night. What was it, Tuesday?
Yeah, you guys went to a hockey game, right?
So the Hurricanes, some parents of a student that Nicole used to teach were like, they couldn't go to the game and they had 2 extra tickets. And so they're like, who do we know that does good for others? And they thought of Nicole because I guess her kid loved her. And it's like, hey, you guys want to go to a hockey game? And we're like, yes, we want to go to the hockey game. And it was awesome.
Yeah, because they came back from 3-2 down, ended up winning game 6, I believe 5-2. And
5-2.
And then that's the game you went to. And then and then last night at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time, we got to see a double overtime victory, the 12th double overtime victory in the NHL playoffs ever. And of course, it was led by, I guess they're calling him Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams, the team captain, who, by the way, at my day job, I did sell him his headset. So his Xbox headset was sold by this guy right here. Awesome. I told him we need him to stick around for a couple more seasons when I saw him last. So, so great game, I assume.
Oh God, it was awesome. It was awesome. We had a blast. We had great seats. It was cool. Just me and her chilling out. We don't get to do that too much here lately. So it was cool just to say, hey, you kids stay at home. Mom and Dad are going to go have fun.
Nice. Now, what did you eat at the game?
What did we? The section we sat in had the Buffalo Brothers.
Area. So you guys just got to walk up and grab some Buffalo Brothers if you wanted.
So we had we both had like the roast beef sandwich that they have. It's pretty good. And she has some pickle chips.
Is that the one that's got like roast beef and bacon with like au jus sauce?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yes.
Guess we're giving a shout out to Buffalo Brothers. 3 triangle locations.
All in all, man, it's been good.
So Tino, are we safe for work this episode? Are we going to have some language dropping? What's the deal? Let's go ahead and say it right now. You know,
it'll be PG-13.
Oh, whoa! So I was hoping we could actually drop the old F'ers, but
rated R.
Oh, so we're the rated R superstar Tino Gray.
Because I wanted to
now don't
start off this episode.
Don't you do it.
I want to start off this episode. So
Ryan Artis, I'm sorry. One of our new viewers.
We had a conversation on the last podcast about the Sasha Banks situation, where I said that it was an entitled thing and everything, and it was brought to my attention,
which by the way, I completely agree with.
Yes, and
I think that it's millennial bullshit.
So it was brought to my attention that somebody or some people were disappointed that I didn't stick up and take the race card. I didn't go the race way, and I tend not to try to do that because I grew up in the South, so I understand when racial shit is happening, and sometimes it is racial. But when it comes to Sasha Banks, I did not think it was racial. How many times has this bitch been the women's champion? If it was racial, he wouldn't put a belt on a black girl. Okay, if it was racial, he wouldn't have put this belt on Kofi Kingston. So in that case, no. He still could have bucked it. I don't give a damn what the universe says. It's Vince's company. If he says I don't want a black champion, he wouldn't have put the belt on Kofi Kingston. True or false? True or false?
Well, no. I agree. Although I think he has to be progressive. He has to believe that his audience that's watching has to be involved with the product. And you know, he always it's weird because Vince always seems to go after the Latino demographic, always seems to go after the Indian demographic, and I would assume that he goes after, now I'm just gonna say it, lower income demographic, which does include, you know, what has typically been looked at as the African American community. Now, and Tino,
but he's never put a championship like the world championships on. We've had plenty of intercontinental, we've had plenty of tag team. I don't think we had a universal. Not a universal, a European.
European?
No,
yeah, I don't.
So
I don't
he's
think
put
so.
secondary belts on African Americans. So my whole point is the rant about Sasha Banks. The rant about Sasha Banks wasn't a black thing, wasn't a white thing. It's a millennial thing. Now, I'll call an ace and a spade, and when I see racist bullshit, I will call it. At that point in time, that wasn't racist bullshit in my mind. That was millennial. That was her throwing a temper tantrum because she felt like she deserved something, and she didn't because she sucks. And I'm just going to throw it out there. There's plenty more deserving, talented women on that roster, black, white, Asian, I don't care what it is, than Sasha Banks. Just because she's Snoop Dogg's cousin doesn't mean the world needs to be handed to her.
Now, where, if I could be so bold, where would you put this young lady in terms of what number in the roster do you like where, like who's above her, who's below her? Like we're gonna say Becky's above her, right?
Becky's above her. I would
Charlotte's above her.
Asuka's above her. Asuka, Charlotte. I think Naomi's more athletic. I think Naomi's even more athletic. Shayna Baszler's on a whole nother level. Shayna Baszler, I mean, she took to the wrestling like a fish to water. I was surprised how quick she's able to adapt from the MMA coming in. I think she did better than Ronda. Ronda came in Shayna did it better than Rumble.
There's a difference, though. I mean, Shayna never reached the top of the mountain in MMA, so she came in and she did the whole developmental system where she actually learned from the ground up, probably even including things like building the ring.
Yes.
Whereas Ronda was thrown right to the wolves right on Monday Night Raw, and of course, probably got a little starstruck by a little bit of it. I gotta say that it had Ronda been brought up through the NXT system like she probably should have been. Like she could have easily done the Asuka thing where she had 150 wins under her belt, and every week she was just beating every single female superstar until all of a sudden she finally loses a match at WrestleMania to Becky Lynch, which is kind of what happened with Asuka, leading up to her her first loss to Charlotte.
But Sasha did come up through NXT.
Yeah. No,
and
we're not.
still,
I'm not talking about Sasha at the moment. I'm talking about Ronda,
yeah.
and I think that's the difference between why Shayna is where she is versus where Ronda was where she was. At the same time, getting back to Sasha, I agree with you. I think that this is a millennial bullshit statement. I think that she's basically saying, I'm one of the 4 horsewomen of your group. Now suddenly there's another billionaire out there that I could easily walk down the street to. I'd have to take I-95 the entire way down to Jacksonville, but I'd be able to main event a pay-per-view against Brandy Rhodes tomorrow. And I gotta say that I agree with you that I think that she's basically trying to say I'm bigger than what you guys are letting me be. Now, granted, I think she's talented. I think that she's probably one of the top 5 women that the WWE has, but she's been injury prone in the past, where every time she seems to get the belt, she seems to get hurt. She's had moments in the past where she's acting like a diva when they worked hard to get the name diva off of these women. Am I right?
Yes.
So acting like one doesn't help things. And I personally think that, like this isn't all about Sasha. I think that this is they're pushing other people. And I bet had she just listened to what creative was saying, they had something else in mind for Sasha, and she just wanted to throw a tantrum, and because of that she wasn't allowed to let that come to fruition. I mean, because she got to wrestle Ronda and she had a great match at Royal Rumble against her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they didn't throw her out there and show that she actually was still capable of having these great matches, but then they wanted to put her in a subpar main event tag team, and I never bought that, and I told you that. I've said it multiple times that I thought the Boss and Hug Connection was a bullshit name and a bullshit tag team. I mean, they never wore matching outfits. They never tried to actually be a tag team, and as such it never got over to the level that it probably could have. Had they actually fully bought in, they might have sold out, right? So that's where I am with it too. I totally agree with you. I also heard an interesting theory this week. Rumor is that with Luke Harper, who asked for his release right after WrestleMania weekend, that the WWE has extended his contract based on the 6 months he lost while being out with injury. And now the rumor is that they are willing to let Sasha Banks stay home, but they are freezing her contract so that when she wants to finally come play ball with them is when she'll finally have the opportunity to have her contract run out. So legally, this is something that baseball can do during holdouts and things like that, where they actually extend the contract of the player because they're being paid to not necessarily sit at home, but to perform on the broadcasts. So as such, if Sasha's not broadcasted, she's not necessarily being paid more than her downside guarantee, but they can extend her contract until the point in which she actually comes back, works the rest of her contract, and then finally leaves on the terms of the deal, kind of like Dean Ambrose just did.
Okay.
So kind of weird though, but
weird.
I mean, you know, Dave Meltzer's talking about this, Wade Keller's talking about this. It's really something where like she can literally be under contract for the rest of her life, and not necessarily get paid what she's owed. You know, Rey Mysterio went through this. The Hardy Boys actually just had their contracts automatically renewed or extended based on the fact that Jeff Hardy was out with injury. So it's interesting when you think about this, like what's going on with these guys. You know, I assume that they're being covered with medical expenses and other things. So as such, their contract should expand to when they actually are healthy enough to then work again.
Yeah. I'm just, excuse me. I'm just wondering how long and how stubborn she's gonna be, and how you know, how long she's gonna stay out.
You know, the interesting thing about millennials is that at some point they do seem to actually go, "Huh, I'm an adult now," you know, and that's when something finally snaps inside their head, and you know, lets them start moving a different direction. So, so Tino. You know, we just talked about the whole Sasha Banks thing. I'm going to sit there and say that I have no hard feelings towards what Ryan actually said in terms of the in terms of the entire thing there. I think it's great because controversy creates cash, as Eric Bischoff once said. So us having a disagreement with someone from the wrestling group, even though he thinks we're singling him out, I am saying that our opinion was based on multiple sources sitting there claiming everything that was going on with Sasha, not just what was going on in our wrestling group. I am going to say that I do feel that our opinions are definitely our own. They're definitely polarizing in some cases. And we do look forward to the comments section. We do ask that everybody subscribe to the. Tino does not want you to, folks. As I'm talking, you see my picture on the screen. Tino does not want you to voice your opinion. I think that's great.
No, I'm not saying no. No, I want everybody to voice their opinion, and I understand it. And no upset, no hard feelings. I just wanted to clear the air on where I stood and why I said what I said. It wasn't. And that
it wasn't just
that,
to back me up, is what you're saying.
Huh?
It wasn't just to back me up.
No, and it was just in that time frame. Like I said, if I'll call racist bullshit when I say racist bullshit. That wasn't racist to me. That was just millennial. So there was no. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a black thing, it wasn't a white thing. It was just she's being a spoiled brat thing.
It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a me kicking your ass kind of thing, son. One of those.
Yeah, I just want. Well, you know, I just want to clear it up.
No, and I mean that's why we have this forum, right? That because people want to hear what you have to say about it. They obviously want to hear what I have to say about it. I just knew that you wanted to get that off your chest, so I wanted to make sure that we let you do it. Tonight, I'm probably going to have a ton of people get irritated at me because I'm going to drop some Avengers Endgame spoilers, but I'm going to do it in what seems to be a socially acceptable way now. I'm going to give it in a no context kind of way so that when people watch the movie, they sit there and they go, that's what that bastard was talking about. And that's how I plan to do it. I will not give anything away, Tino. I will not give it away.
Folks, I told him not to do it.
So so I am going to go ahead and I'll drop the first one right now. He-Man. You remember Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, I remember He-Man.
Okay.
He-Man is not Marvel.
No, he's not. Actually, he's owned by the competition DC. But that's the whole point of non-context spoilers, is that you're not going to get it until you get it. See? So here's the next one for you. You ready?
Oh, you're just gonna throw them all out at once?
No. I could drop them throughout the episode. That's fine. But the next one is Big Lebowski.
The fuck?
There we go, folks. He dropped the first one.
Sorry.
Yeah. So absolutely. Like when you see it, you will know. Okay. But I didn't give anything away, did I?
No.
Okay.
Is it 3 hours?
3 hours and 2 minutes. The next one, you ready? Girl power.
Spice Girls are in it.
I actually was going to say Spice Girls, or I was going to say, give me what I want, really, really, really want. Give me, but I figured that it was just better to sit there and just say girl power. Now, for the comic book fans out there, I will drop a name here. I will say Hulk, but I'm putting it in context of Hulk 372. Okay, so
Austin 316.
No, not quite, but you kind of. There's one I'm not gonna say here because it does give something away about the plot, so I just won't say it. But I will say, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Princess Leia, you're my only hope.
Yeah, you're my only hope. So I'm gonna leave that one there, and then I will give you at least one more right now, which is a Force Ghost.
A what?
Force Ghost.
Okay.
All right. So the ones that I gave out already were Big Lebowski, Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Girl Power,
a Force Ghost, Girl Power, and He-Man.
And Hulk 316.
No, Hulk 372.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hulk 316, I don't know what that issue was, but Hulk 372 is actually one of my favorite Hulk comics ever.
And this is this the last Avengers movie? Is that what this is?
I don't think it's the last Avengers movie. I just think that it's the last time. I'm trying to think of an easy way to say this without spoiling anything. I think it's the last time they care if this movie is better than the last.
Oh, okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I will go ahead and tell everybody that's watching right now, if you watched any of the trailers, everything that happens in the trailers except for one spot seems to happen in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? And that's not exactly true, but it's darn close. Darn close. And
when did it come out?
When did what come out?
The movie. I thought it came out this weekend. It came out already.
Right now. Everything that is happening now is happening now. What happened then? We passed then. When? Just now.
No, bitch. When did the movie hit the theater?
Yeah, it hit today. 7 o'clock. It's now 10 already. It's now 10 Eastern, which means people have been watching it.
How did you see it already? When did you see it?
Magic.
You're an asshole. Okay.
No, I'm not allowed to tell you when I saw it. I can just tell you that I saw it already. Hey man, the Russo brothers are out there. They are watching us. They are listening in for spoilers and everything else. So I'm doing everything I can to not spoil the film, but I have to talk about it because I've already seen it.
Anyway, get back to wrestling.
Well, before we get back to wrestling, I mean, we asked about you.
Oh shit. What have you been up to, Rob? Oh, by the way, tomorrow night, April the 26th. About you. Let's do it. Tomorrow night, April 26th, I'll be at the First Street Tavern in Clayton from 8 to 10. Saturday, Tino Gray and the Social Casualties will be at Doherty's and Apex from 10 to 1.
Apex is so far.
Shut up. You've been here before. I
went to the one in Cary.
And that one is actually 10 minutes away from the one in Apex. You big baby. Excuse me.
It's but it's just down Davis Drive from where I live.
Anyway, 10 more minutes, you'd have been there. And then 5 minutes from there, you'd be at my house.
Well, that's true. That's true. Where I could just sleep on the couch.
Thank you. So, but yeah, it's 9 to 12. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Saturday. Saturday, I think, is lawn mowing day. So
it's going to rain tomorrow, so you're going to have a lot of lawn to mow.
Yeah. Yeah. We can
hope it's not like it was last Friday.
We can talk about that off air. Not happy about mowing the lawn.
Yeah,
but anyways. So yes. Folks, go out, see Avengers Endgame. It really is the return of the Jedi of our generation. it really is like the culmination of 11 years of Marvel movies, and it the Russos have a favorite character. I think that you'll be able to see who it is pretty obviously, but at the same time, it is just excellent. It's a great film. But I will tell you, Tino, I don't know if I actually say that it's my favorite
Mm.
because it's so hard to beat Winter Soldier and even Infinity War, which was the first one that had this entire massive cast of characters. So okay, you want to talk about wrestling?
Well, talk about you first. We didn't.
Oh, I will be celebrating Free Comic Book Day May 4th at Arkham Comics in Rocky Mount.
Mm-hmm.
I posted on my Instagram the convention exclusive cover that I did for Dead Sonja, and the solicitations for the July comic books, so you can order them from your local comic shop now, include Junior High Horrors #6, which is the kids going to summer camp, which I thought was pretty funny. As well as
Lake.
What's that?
They're going to Crystal Lake.
They're going to like Diamond Pond, but
Gotcha.
but yes, they are going to a pretty familiar place. There is a running joke in it that will be a visual joke, less of my wit and everything else, and more of what Eric the artist is going to draw on it. But it is also the month that X Liefelds will be coming out, which obviously we've talked about a little bit,
Yes.
which is the parody book about the creator of Deadpool, Cable, and Domino, and basically the characters he created that never quite made it, going back in time to stop those characters from ever becoming famous. So I'm pretty excited about it. I really hope that it does well because I'd love to revisit the characters and actually write them again. I already want to call them the Rejects with an X at the end, because I think it'd be kind of funny to have a parody X-Men comic called the Rejects. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. In July, I technically have 3 different books coming out. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con, so that's going to be pretty awesome. I also may be hosting some panels at Carolina Fear Fest at the end of May, and that is the first horror convention in Raleigh at the Jim Graham Building. The weekend.
Why are they doing it in May?
Well, I don't know why.
Fear Fest. What do you think doing like in October around Halloween? Fear Fest.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure there will be something else going on in October. It's just this is their first attempt at doing a horror convention here locally. So we're going to be at that. We're actually guests at it, but I may be hosting a panel for some folks that I met at a signing not too long ago that they basically star in horror films locally, and because of that, since I know them, they actually are pretty interested in having me like do the hosting of the event. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm trying to talk them into letting me do a horror parody panel where we talk about junior high horrors and we talk about some other stuff. So that is actually what's going on with me. And now, Tino,
let's do it.
We can get to the old wrestling. So let's go ahead and hit the injury wire. Sheamus, you said earlier that you believe that spinal stenosis is the reason why he is out, but so far, all we can confirm is that in the match where Big E got hurt as well, Sheamus is out with a concussion.
Yeah, so I was somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where I heard it, and person heard it from Dave Meltzer, that Sheamus had the spinal stenosis, had the same thing that pretty much made Edge retire. So from what I heard, Vince was going to make Sheamus retire, and he was going to go be a road agent, work backstage for WWE, as well as he's trying to make Daniel Bryan retire because of the stomp he got from Kofi at WrestleMania.
Now, all of that is really just rumors and speculation because
yes,
we all know that they are going to get every type of commitment from a doctor before they finally tell Daniel that he's got to stay out of the ring. But I do think that the entire, and I mean the entire Kevin Owens heel turn from this past Tuesday night. Sorry, folks, if you haven't watched it, it is Thursday at this point. The entire heel turn from Kevin Owens being the Big O as part of the New Day, all stemmed from the Daniel Bryan injury. I think that they really were planning on keeping Kevin Owens babyface for a little while longer, and maybe a long while longer if it actually took off. But with knowledge that Daniel Bryan is not going to be able to come back and be the opponent that Kofi Kingston needs, they needed somebody that could play a very strong heel. And as such, Kevin Owens is obviously the best choice for it, because the other biggest heel, Elias, is already tied up with one Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where they're going with that one too. With the excuse me, with the Roman McMahon, the Roman / McMahon / Elias storyline.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with that they're not going to put the title on Roman, but they think that he is the biggest draw on the show, so they're going to give him the best time. At the same time, they're probably hoping that the McMahon / Roman rub on Elias will actually push him to the main event level that he obviously has the talent to be, as I thought we were seeing by when they turned him babyface. But he does seem to get a better reaction being a heel, telling everybody to shut up.
I like him better as a heel, and I agreed. I think he does deserve to have a main event push. I'm digging. I've been digging Elias for a while now, and when they started turning him babyface, he was still all right. But like you said, I think he still needs to silence your cell phones and shut your mouths. Kind of cocky. He's got the whole Damian Sandow, Macho Man Randy Savage, love
Rick
child.
Rude. Yeah, exactly. You know, the whole.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
You know what I was going to say? You know what I'm talking about?
I do, and actually, it's something that we talked about when he first signed with the WWE that they should have done.
But when he shaved his beard, he looks like him now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
never noticed how much he resembled him.
All right, so folks, we're talking about Robert Roode, who went from being glorious Bobby Roode to glorious Robert Roode, who dropped the 150 pounds of
Chad Gable
of holding back Chad Gable.
That was awesome.
But at the same time, shaved off his beard and immediately had this giant rat on his face. I mean, that mustache is like Rick Steiner sized, man. That thing is like
Rick Rude size.
It's like this.
Yes.
Except it does this, you know, like it is like two fists coming off your face. It's just it is a giant freaking it's Eugene Levy's eyebrows, folks.
Oh my God.
The younger audience isn't going to know who that is. Watch American Pie. You'll know what I'm talking about. But yes, so I guess we're going right into
sorry. Well, when
Robert Roode.
It just reminded me of that when you said that, and I was like, that's what I wanted to talk about, so it hit me.
Well, I kind of hope that Elias would start calling people sweat hogs, but now I just want Robert Roode to do it.
Yes. And I want him to get the Rude Awakening.
Oh, well, I mean, they already gave Kevin Owens the stunner, so they can give the Rude Awakening with the little shimmy. You know,
he can do the whole glorious thing before he hits it.
Dude, they should put him in a match and a feud with and they can't do it now because they moved him back over to SmackDown, Andrade, and have him sit there and put Charlotte Flair right there on his trunks. Oh, that would be such a callback, and it would be glorious. Yes. Yeah. No, I love it. I actually like what they're doing there. I also saw that they moved the B team over to SmackDown without anybody knowing having shown them. So now, interestingly enough, SmackDown has the Colognes and the B team, and we might never see them again.
And then they broke up Sanity too.
Yeah, I think it's because they felt that like Desmond Wolf wasn't exactly, or Alexander Wolf.
Yeah,
Uh,
Desmond Wolf was TNA. Alexander Wolf.
that's right. That's right. Desmond Wolf was actually Nigel McGuinness. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. Alexander Wolf wasn't exactly ready for prime time, so I think they've shipped him off to NXT UK. Which, you know what? I really think that if they're not doing anything with the talent, they should put them back on NXT. You know, I mean, look at Zack Ryder. He's tag team champion now, but what did he do when he wasn't getting used? He said, "Put me in NXT. I'll help someone else," and he did. You know, now granted, he never got the push that he probably should have gotten. I mean, here's a guy that Tommy Dreamer saw the world in, and Vince apparently didn't, but he was an ECW world champion.
Yes.
You know, and he has a
apparently they've shipped. I watched NXT last night, so apparently they've shipped Cassius Ono to the UK too.
Now, is that because he picked up his bags and took off like a couple months ago?
I guess all I know is he came in. Have you watched NXT yet?
No.
He came into Regal's office wearing the NXT UK, and apparently he's been over on that show, which I've still yet to watch, and I need to get on that.
We watched it. We watched it one night here.
Yeah, we watched it one night. That's the one and only time I've watched it.
And I mean, I was pretty blown away by it.
Yeah.
You know what we're missing this weekend? And this is totally off topic, but our friend of the show, Jason Ingram, got mad at me because I'm not able to take the weekend off. But yes, the Crockett Cup, the NWA ROH Crockett Cup that's going on. That apparently they talked they talked one Jim Cornette into showing up to, and of course he's sitting there like, double cheese, motherfucker, you know.
Double mayonnaise, double pickles,
motherfucker. Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I need a triple from Wendy's. Anyways, do you think he likes the Coke the Coke freestyle machine?
No.
No, I bet he's sitting there going, why can't I just get a why can't Jim Cornette just get a Diet Coke? Why can't he just get one? You know, like I kind of feel that that's what he would do.
Mm.
Anyways, it's terrible, man. Like you know, I'm trying not to drop so many F-bombs tonight. I'm trying not to upset Ryan Artis. I'm kidding, Ryan. I'm just kidding. You know, I did notice something today, and we'll get back to the actual main meat and potatoes of the WWE stuff. But it kind of shocked me a little bit. The WWE stock today, Tino, dropped 13%.
And I was asking you why you think that is.
And you know, so I voiced it in the wrestling group, and they know it's because of declining ratings, which has created less people showing up at the arenas and less merchandise being bought. So overall, it's because there's less revenue, right? But the interesting thing about the revenue side of it, Tino, is that when they're losing this revenue, they're losing it due to the fact that they think it's because they don't have enough top line talent that's all working at the same time, because there's 10 to 15 guys or girls out due to injury. Now, let me ask you.
I told you that it's because they're not listening to what the people want. They're still doing what they want to do.
What? No, you're full of shit.
Yeah, whatever. They came at Christmas. Don't get me started on that bullshit. They came at Christmas like, we're going to do what you want. Yeah, that lasted a whole 2 hot motherfucking weeks.
Did it? Did it even last that long? Yeah. I already told you, they didn't give us Kofi because we asked for Kofi. They gave us Kofi because they shoved him down our fucking throats.
No, they were asking for Kofi's.
No, they were not.
They were shoving Roman down our throats, and they didn't want Roman.
Not true, because in December, Roman wasn't there.
Well, I'm not talking in December. I'm talking about before. You're talking about shoving people down throats. They shoved damn Roman. They shoved damn who's that other big bastard?
Braun Strowman.
No, Strowman. We wanted Strowman. I can't think of the other dude.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock.
You couldn't remember Brock Lesnar? Well, he doesn't show up half the time, so I guess.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I just remember some jacked up crew cut dude.
So I truly believe that the reason why the money is starting to see this difference when they talk about their earnings, why the earnings are down this year, has a lot to do with the fact that there isn't as much good stuff that they're writing. And what are you doing? You got your he's trying to not get me to rant, so he's doing this number with his shirt. That's something that since I've known Tino for 20-something years, he always, like, as we're watching wrestling pay-per-views, for some reason he always seems to go like this, like he knows that his house smells bad or something. I don't even know what it is.
I don't even know what it is. Since I was a kid, I'm doing that. I don't know what it is. It's like a security blanket thing. I don't know.
Probably. And it's just hilarious, though, because, like, you'll see him and he'll be sleeping, but he'll be like this. He'll be like, and then he just wakes up, like, and he's like, what?
It's funny because when I do sleep, my wife makes fun of me when I sleep. I've got the whole, I'm totally covered except for my nose, because I got to breathe. I can't breathe under the blankets on my nose, so I can breathe. Everything else is covered. She's like, really?
That's too much. I had no idea. Like, this is hilarious. Yeah. Oh man. But so the WWE's money is down for the first quarter in, like, I don't know, like 13 quarters or something.
Yeah.
Like they had been consistently moving up, and interestingly enough, they hit a plateau. They hit a new number that they had never hit before the night after WrestleMania, and it was 2 million subscribers on the network.
Wow.
So you would think that they have more money coming in.
Yeah.
Because at $10 a month, 2 million subscribers, that's $20 million a month just from the subscription. Wow. And yet they lost money. And hold on, let me.
So are people unsubscribing now because they're getting pissed off? Because how many times have we watched something and we're like, and we've said it on the Facebook page and everything, if this happens, I'm going to unsubscribe. So do you think people are really unsubscribing from the
for $10 a month as wrestling fans? I think that we sit there and we say that a lot, and then we just actually sit there and go, it's only $10. Except I will tell you, I did unsubscribe from New Japan.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not because I wasn't excited about the product. It was because I didn't understand the product.
Language barrier, or
what's up?
The language barrier, or just,
yeah, that's mainly it. I mean, like yes, they've got English commentary on certain programs and stuff, but like for the masses, you know, they just lost a lot of their talent. Like, sure, they've got Jay White, who was the champion, who's already lost the championship, but when you think about it, like, a lot of the people that I would want to watch just because I'm an old school wrestling fan aren't there anymore. Like, they all went to AEW. And Kenny Omega even said just recently that he had the opportunity to wrestle at the ROH New Japan show and didn't do it because he's got to focus on AEW. And I guess I understand that, except for the fact that these guys have basically been sitting at home for 4 months, signing one new talent every 2 weeks or something. They've got 25 talents under contract now, 28, 29, something like that.
When's their pay-per-view?
What's up?
When's their pay-per-view?
What is it, the end of May?
They only have 25 talents. They need to step that up.
Well, I think that they're, actually 25 talents could allow them to put on 12 and a half matches, or if they actually wanted to, if they're doing tag team matches from time to time in there, then you're talking that they probably could do 7 matches on the pay-per-view, which is probably about a good number, right?
Yeah.
But 25 talents actually is perfect for your first pay-per-view. But if you actually want to do a weekly television program, then you're going to have some jabronis, you're going to have some mid-carders, and obviously you're going to have
was it you that was telling me they were WGN was looking at them?
Well, I was the one that said that I believe it's going to be WGN that's going to sign them,
Okay.
because WGN wants to be a player in this. But the rumor is that they've actually already got on the table TNT.
Wow.
Which is interesting because, 18 years ago, they got the F out when the WWE got the F out.
Yep. And then ECW had a show on TNT for a while, or that was TNN.
TNN, yes.
TNN,
yes,
the Nashville Network.
Well, yes, because it was the Nashville Network, then they became the National Network, and then they became Spike TV.
Yes.
Which then had TNA, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird when you think about all that. So it's interesting when you think about all this stuff with the WWE because obviously at the end of the year they're going to have this huge influx of money from the Fox and USA Network deals that go into place starting in October. Now they also mentioned something on the conference call that had to do with the WWE Network refresh, where they're basically calling it like a restart of the network. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily going to affect people like you and me that pay the $9.99 a month, but there is rumor that there's going to be a $15 tier and possibly even a smaller tier, so that way they can get different people to subscribe based on what they want to watch. Now, Tino, that worries me because
so that means if they do that, then we'll no longer be able to watch the pay-per-views in the $10 tier. We're going to go to the $15 tier if we want to see pay-per-views.
Not necessarily, because what I'm actually thinking would probably be the smartest way to do it would be to continue to allow the network to be exactly what it is for $10 a month, right? But then for $15 a month, they get access to the live Monday Night Raw and SmackDown episodes. Because right now they're 6 weeks behind
on the network. Yeah.
So all things considered, if they did that, then they could split the revenue with USA and Fox. So each one of them would get like $1.45 or something from it, and that would allow them to sit there and broadcast Monday Night Raw and SmackDown live when they probably should be broadcasting them live, and put it at $15 a month. Now, what do you think of that?
Yeah, you could. That'd be good because that'd be closer to me cutting cable.
Well, I think what's going to happen is the Hulu deal is going to run out. Because Hulu, which used to be co-owned by Fox, is now not owned by Fox at all and owned mostly by Disney, who does not have one of these network deals with the WWE because NBC and Fox do.
Yeah, but and also the Hulu thing, I won't really miss that too much because a 3-hour Raw on Hulu is only an hour and a half, so they're cutting a lot of programming.
Oh, it's so good though. Like being able to watch it on the Hulu without commercials. Yeah,
but I still think I've watched I just to see if it cut out some stuff. I've watched a Raw, and then I watched a Hulu version, and they do cut some segments out.
Well, they have to.
Yeah,
but obviously it's the segments that WWE does not think are important.
Yeah.
And I think that most of those segments that they end up cutting out, you can probably watch on their YouTube page. But that's just it. I really do think that what's going to happen is the Hulu deal is probably going to run out, and what they're probably going to do is put up WWE Raw and SmackDown on the network, but charge you to actually watch those live. Or if they can't show them live, then show them 24 hours later, because obviously Hulu has them 24 hours later currently.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
why don't you think it's going to be a good idea?
Well, I think if they do that, it's a good idea. I think if they do it any other way, I'm not paying any more money. Like, if they take away the pay-per-views for $10 a month, I might stop watching pay-per-views.
Wow.
I mean, why would I continue to watch?
But $15 a month still beats when we used to pay $50, $60 a month.
Does it? Because we didn't used to get all of them. We used to only get the big four. That's $240 a year versus right now we're already paying $120. So sure, it would be less, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I cut off New Japan because I wasn't using it. You know, the WWE network I watch for pay-per-views, which, yeah, sure, used to be $50-$60. And I get them for the $9.99. But, like, if it goes up, I don't really use the network all that much anymore. Like, I'll just go over to your house, you know?
Make me pay $15, honey.
Well, that's just it. Like you and I already said, as long as they allow, like, 2 people to use a subscription, we'll just cut it down to 1 subscription.
Yeah.
You know, and then they still lose the subscriber. They don't have what they were originally going for. Now, granted, they could do what like these new networks are trying to do, which is basically cut it down to 1 facing, 2 facings, whatever, and you know, knock it down to where you don't get to do that anymore. I don't know though. Anyways, so Monday Night Raw, we got a pretty boring Becky 2 belts versus Alicia Fox turned into like a tag team match, right?
No, I think Becky 2 belts was fighting Alicia Fox, and she won, and Lacey Evans came and knocked the shit out of her.
Yeah, I like how they're building Lacey Evans up, and her first match on Raw last week was actually pretty good, but I really don't think that she's done enough to actually like really say, hey, I'm coming in and I deserve a title match. That's the difference between like pro wrestling that we've seen for years and like professional boxing, where people actually have to make a name for themselves.
Well, right now, if you look at the WWE roster, women's roster, I'm trying to figure out who they have now and who would be in line for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do they have anybody? I mean, who's in the women's roster? Yeah, Becky.
I don't know. It's like you got rid of Ronda. And all of a sudden it's like, well, you got Becky on both shows because, well, she's the biggest name going, and they're kind of cooling her off instead of heating her up. You know, it kind of surprises me that they didn't have Stephanie come out and actually try to take both belts from her and have her sit there and, like, you know, give them both the finger and a stunner and all that good stuff, you know, like they would have done back in the 90s.
I'm wondering what they're going to do with that, because now, again, spoiler alert if you guys hadn't watched it, she's agreed at the next pay-per-view she's going to defend her belt against Lacey and Charlotte the same night.
Well, and a lot of people have already said what they think is going to happen is they're going to leave a spot open in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And Becky's going to lose one of the belts, but hold on to the other one. So chances are she beats Lacey Evans, loses to Charlotte, and then immediately cashes in, you know, because she ends up in the Money in the Bank match, wins that, and then cashes in to still stay Becky 2 belts. I'm kind of surprised they didn't pull the whole Ultimate Warrior thing and basically say you only get to have 1 belt because you can't defend on both shows, and let her basically figure out which belt that she's going to like make it a triple threat match or something.
Well, if she's a champion and she's going, if they're going to let the women's champion, which I know why they won't do it because of the whole Fox and USA, but if she's going to both shows, why not unify the damn things?
Well, it's funny, with as popular as she is, I think that both Fox and USA would probably be okay with her on both shows.
So why not unify it?
I agree. I think that's what they should do, but they don't ever seem to do what we think is smart, right? That's why their stock's down 13% today. Boom! Hit him again. Hit him again. I hit him again like I did the last time. Anyways,
yeah.
Some old Clubber Lang for you. All right. So Seth Rollins, they set up 2 matches, triple threat matches. One was Baron Corbin versus The Miz versus
Samoa Joe.
No. That was
AJ.
No, it was AJ versus Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, and then it was Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre versus
The Miz. Yeah.
Versus The Miz. And I thought that was pretty interesting because they went 2 baby faces and a heel in the AJ match, and then they went 2 heels and a baby face, if you can call the Miz a baby face, in that match. Now, what shocked me was who won the second of those 2 matches. The first match was phenomenal, by the way, and I'm not just saying that because AJ won, but it really changed the method of how they did a 3-way dance match. And I'm saying this partly because that's what I've read, but also because of what I saw. So I want to give credit where due. A lot of the dirt sheets were basically saying that unlike most triple threat matches where one guy gets knocked out for a majority of the match, it really seemed like all 3 guys were going all in the entire time. And then finally, like AJ, like it was full of like the 3-way moves. And it ended when AJ actually gave the Styles Clash to Rey Mysterio on top of Samoa Joe, and then pinned Samoa Joe, which I thought was really clever and definitely not put together by any of your typical road agents. That was definitely like called in the ring by 3 definite like major guys that know what they're doing. At the same time, AJ sold the injury to his back, which apparently is a true like hip stinger or something, but not enough to keep him out for long periods of time. The second match, however, I didn't think was as good. And you had Baron Corbin come out on top, which
I didn't understand.
Well, they wanted to have a babyface versus a heel in the finale.
So why not AJ against
McIntyre?
Drew? Yeah, why Baron?
Well, I think what it's going to lead to is the possibility of McIntyre becoming a babyface, because I think he's going to get pissed off at Corbin now. Because AJ ended up winning the match against Corbin, so AJ gets the match against Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, and I think that's going to lead to Corbin, Corbin being up on the top rung trying to grab the Money in the Bank again, because we know that he failed in his first opportunity, and lead to Drew McIntyre actually winning the Money in the Bank, which, by the way, rumors are that the winner of the Money in the Bank is going to be pushed to the moon this year.
Yeah.
We're not going to get the Braun Strowman like, hey, we're going to give you 9 different title matches and you're not going to win any of them because Brock Lesnar's contract isn't over yet.
So I wonder how long they're going to let the dude hold on to the briefcase.
Well, it depends on who wins it. Scott from our group seems to think that Xavier Woods is going to win it.
That'd be awesome. Either him or Big E.
Well, Big E's hurt.
You think Big E get back in time?
No, God, no. Big E's going to be out for months. Big guys get hurt like that; they're out for months. I think that Drew McIntyre is probably your most likely candidate to win that, because he already had to do the job to Roman, and now they've got him on a different show. I think we're going to see something big there. We could be wrong though. It could be Braun Strowman, could be the Miz, who obviously is a former Money in the Bank winner and WWE champion. I think it's great that they've kind of put him on a different program from Shane, so they can lead to him versus Shane at like Survivor Series again. But I like I said, I think that Drew McIntyre is probably my number one choice to win the briefcase right now.
Okay.
But I do think that he's going to be the one that like stops Corbin from doing it, and is going to get a babyface pop, which is going to turn him babyface.
Yeah, who is in the money in the Bank?
They have not announced yet. So Monday night, during a moment of bliss with my favorite WWE superstar. That's right.
Oh dear Jesus. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's no Mandy Rose.
Whatever.
Whatever. Selena Vega.
He is 5 feet of fury, my friend, and
Selena Vega.
Buddy Murphy is a lucky man.
They broke up.
For standing in for me right now. What?
Keep going.
Anyway,
full of shit.
Anyways, no, so they haven't announced who's going to be in the Money in the Bank match yet, but they are scheduled to do so during a Moment of Bliss on Monday Night Raw. So now that's at least the Raw side of it, which is kind of disappointing because you kind of want, like, I always liked the qualifier matches, and it doesn't look like we're going to get qualifiers this time. So, and then SmackDown will probably get qualifiers, but don't really need qualifiers because, you know, it's going to be Xavier, it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Kofi is probably going to be, you know, the SmackDown side main event. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with all that. I find it interesting because you know they've got Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the Raw title, and it really is a match that we've all wanted to see because they've never faced each other, at least on TV. So I don't know if they have off TV, but they definitely haven't on TV. And you know, Tino, it's kind of a match that could be held for WrestleMania, but they obviously want Money in the Bank to be one of their big pay-per-views.
But why? So we've already got WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and what, Survivor Series, and what was the other one? Was the King of the Ring? King of the Ring's not one of the big four anymore, is it?
No. King of the Ring's rarely used anymore, although I think that he should bring it back and let somebody win it. You know, I just thought about it. There's another guy that might actually be pushed to the moon right now because he's got a section that we all like to sit in.
Cesaro.
And he also speaks 5 fucking languages, which means he is the perfect guy to go overseas to win the world championship.
And they won't push him. They won't pull the trigger on Cesaro.
They may now. You never know. This whole let's blow everything up and start over, which doesn't seem like they did that, considering, I mean, Bayley walked out on Tuesday night and sat there and told Charlotte that while I thought this was new opportunities and everything, it seems that we're just showing a rerun, which I thought was a great line.
That was a great line.
Like, I don't know who wrote it. Maybe it was the guy that got fired, you know, after the Hall of Fame. I don't know. But
there's Corey Graves.
Corey Graves did not write that. Corey Graves can barely read his own lines, let alone someone else's now. Like, and I like Corey Graves. Don't get me wrong. I think that he's the best commentator they've got besides Morrow. But
you said Renee Young yesterday.
What's that?
You said you said you thought Renee was the best.
I've never said that. I think Renee Young's the only reason why they're probably still in the running to get Dean Ambrose back, though.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't know. How do you feel about it, man? How do you who do you think should be in the King of the Ring, and who do you think is going to win? Like, obviously, after we know who's in it, we will go ahead and give predictions. But like right now, before you know, like, who would you say?
Gosh, who would I like to win the Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
I'd like to see, and believe it or not, we talked about him earlier. I'd like to see Elias go for it.
Okay. Although, you know, he's going to have a match. Well, I guess they could put Roman and Elias in the Money in the Bank match.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think that if they do qualifiers on SmackDown, I bet they both prevent each other from getting into it.
And I think to help to bring it back to what it was, believe it or not, I think The Miz should have one more go at that belt too.
I think as a babyface, it's going to be really hard to get The Miz the belt. I mean, right now you've got 2 babyfaces going after the belt, and then you've got The Miz. So, and when you look at it, it's definitely Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, The Miz.
So why don't you make The Miz a tweener?
Why don't you make him a tweener?
He could be a tweener going for the belt.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, like,
Stone Cold.
They just did everything they could to turn him babyface.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they just did everything they could to turn Kevin Owens babyface. So I mean, we could be seeing something again, but I don't know. I think that the Miz
dark horse would be Samoa Joe. No, you don't agree with that.
I mean, I love Samoa Joe. I think that he's got all the talent in the world, but for whatever reason, they moved him to Raw without telling anybody, and he's a champion. You know. Now, granted, apparently it's because either he had travel issues, because apparently there was a lot of travel issues on Monday night, like when the roster shakeup happened, or he was sick. But I don't know which of those I believe. I just know that right now it seems like Samoa Joe is an afterthought.
Or maybe Titus O'Neil.
I mean, he could slide into the ladder. I don't think he can slide up the ladder though, Tino.
No.
He could slide down the ladder. Man, could you imagine that Titus going to reach up and all of a sudden just like they make him like move his feet and he just slides back down the whole way?
No, but
no,
but like I said, Elias would be my man. I would like to see.
I don't think he's a dark horse pick. If he actually, like right now, if they actually throw him into the Money in the Bank match, I think that he's got a great chance to win it. I think that you got a babyface champion. I think that they're pushing him to be a monster heel on SmackDown. So I think that he does have the opportunity to actually go after that belt, which apparently they're allowed to say belt now on WWE television.
Because of Becky 2 belts.
Because what was it? Conor McGregor sat there and said that she had 2 belts first.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and use that.
So you said that whoever wins the Money in the Bank, they're gonna get a big push off of this.
That's the rumor.
What about Robert Roode?
I want to say, what about Robert Roode?
Robert Roode, he has the mic skill. He has the personality. If they push him, he's not Randy Orton. If they push him,
but he is glorious.
Yeah, I think he'd be a glorious champion. They can push him.
I think that if they'd put him on SmackDown, he'd be a great opponent for Kofi Kingston.
You don't see him going against Seth?
No, but interestingly enough, I do see him possibly going against Samoa Joe. However, Samoa Joe is also a heel. So putting him against Robert Roode would not go over well. Now, I could see Rey Mysterio versus Robert Roode, which I think would be a lot of fun.
There's no titles. I think they need to put a title on Roode.
I mean, I think that Robert Roode needs a title, and a title better than Glorious. But that's just me. I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I like the shakeup. I actually. Hey, where did Apollo Crews go?
Did he go to SmackDown?
I don't think so. I think he just disappeared. Like, he faced Kurt Angle a couple weeks ago before Kurt Angle's match at WrestleMania, and now he's gone.
I don't know. Maybe he's at the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
No.
Well, you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So last time we did one of these, and I went off on my Bray Riot, one of my mini rants.
You just called it a Bray Riot, which is hilarious, by the way.
Well, it's Bray and Ruby's kid.
So let me go ahead and let me do my little Bray look.
Bray and Ruby had a baby. Bray Wyatt rant that I went off on.
I kind of like Bray Wyatt. Let's do that.
Bray Wyatt. But the rant I went off on talking about the buzzard in the box, which now
it's called Mercy.
Now it's called Mercy. A nod to Waylon Mercy, who Bray Wyatt's character was inspired by. One of the characters.
Apparently,
I thought it was going to be
Pee-wee Herman is another one of the characters.
I thought it was going to be stupid. I'm like, why were they doing it? And then I sat here and watched the Firefly Funhouse. And I watched it the first time and I was like, what the hell? But then I watched it again. And you can see the little nuances of his character. He's trying to be this good guy now, but you can tell that there's that Bray Wyatt still in him because he's trying to be good. And when he cut that cardboard of himself and the old Bray Wyatt slipped out, I can see what they're doing. I see what they're doing.
You thought that was on purpose? That part clipped in?
It was on purpose.
Was it?
Yes.
What makes you say that?
Because he was doing his regular voice, and he cut the thing, and the Bray Wyatt, when he had the chainsaw and he started doing the laugh, he did the little bit of the Wyatt laugh, and that voice came out, and then he called himself.
Well, I heard that, but I thought that was oopsie.
No. And you can tell about the gloves. And you notice he's still talking to himself. When he went like this, he's whispering to himself. Before he went and cut the cardboard, he put his hand to his ear. He was talking to himself. I think this man's about to snap. I think it's a good character.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Oh hell.
And this is real. Okay, this is a real question that I'm going to ask you. Does this character have a chance to be world champion? You got to think about it. You got to think about it. It doesn't have a chance to be world champion. It's just it.
Okay, Mr. Smartass. When Tommaso Ciampa came out with DIY, did you think Tommaso had the chance to be the champion?
No, but when he threw
then
hold on. But when he threw Johnny Wrestling into the board and he took on a whole new persona, immediately that persona was looked at as that guy's going to be champ.
The dude just got introduced. You didn't give him a chance to do anything yet.
No.
I reserve right.
I'm okay.
I'm gonna wait to see what else. This is the first time we got introduced to him.
Here we go. You ready?
All right.
When you think of a character like the Genius, did he ever have a chance to be world champion?
No. But when Ciampa came out, you didn't think he had a chance to be champion.
No. But they changed his character, and that's when he actually did.
They changed Bray Wyatt's character.
Yeah, they changed it for the worse. Bray Wyatt was a world champion. Now he's a Pee-wee Herman / Mr. Rogers fucking knockoff.
I don't know. I think he does.
Dude, if he starts changing his fucking shoes in one of these Funhouse segments, I'm calling it now. He is basically relegating himself to being thrown back at the Hardy compound in a WWE network special, not even broadcast on TV. Okay,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that he's going to have to snap, but right now I think that he's portraying a worse version of Bo Dallas, like he's Bo leaving. Except he's not Bo leaving. He's sitting there going, hey, y'all, let's not let that guy come back out. No, sir, we're not going to do it. Let me cut him up on a... No, it's bullshit, man. Like, it's a terrible fucking gimmick. It is a terrible, terrible gimmick. Like,
I'm telling you right now, it's not.
But you thought it was last week.
before he came out and saw him. Yeah, when I saw the damn buzzard, I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Dude.
6 months. Give him 6 months.
Give him 6 months. Dude, they were doing awesome stuff. That Wyatt compound match where like...
But think about it, though. Bray Wyatt, think about it, was supposed to be the scary dude. And he kept getting squashed. And
so
he would come back and
him acting like a pedophile is scarier and perfect for PG television.
No, but that whole...
Because that's what he is.
Bray Wyatt, he was getting squashed and coming back and saying what he's going to do to his opponent and then getting his ass kicked again. They should have put his ass back in.
Bad booking. That's not a bad character. That's bad booking. I mean, the guy won the world championship, showed up on the next night on a different program, and wasn't even allowed to defend it.
He turned into a jobber.
He did. I don't disagree. He ended up becoming a tag team specialist with Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy even dropped the broken character because of it. Like, at this point, like that character just doesn't... he's not going to succeed. Like, I don't care how good Bray Wyatt is. Like, I hope you make me eat my words here, man. I hope you make me eat my words. But right now, Cedric Alexander...
Well, everybody thought that Bray Wyatt character wasn't going to succeed either.
Well, I just told you. Right now, Cedric Alexander beats him.
Okay. We're going to agree to disagree on that one.
Oh, we can disagree all we want. But until I sit here and see the buzzards, I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen. Like Bray Wyatt's character is in the dumpster right now, man. Like he is straight up on fire in the dumpster. Not straight up on fire. He's not on fire. And it doesn't matter how bought in he is to it. Because here's the problem. You want to know what the problem is with this character? When does a character really get over?
When he's himself.
So you're going to tell me that this is who he really is?
He's crazy son of a bitch.
He is. He is. And we just found out, congratulations to him and his family, or at least him and his girlfriend, JoJo, that they're expecting. So he suddenly is a Mr. Rogers Styles character who obviously has very bad violence tendencies. But I gotta be real with you, man. Like right now, you can't take that character to the depths that it needs to go to be successful. Right now, it's Dean Douglas.
No, because what's going to happen is, I can tell now, the Firefly. The Firefly Funhouse.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's called, the Firefly Funhouse. Go ahead.
Make this a talk show character on Raw. He invites people in. It's a will he or won't he snap on this person and whoop his ass.
So what you're saying is he's going to be Brother Love.
No, he's not going to be Brother Love.
So he's going to have the barber shop.
It's not going to be the barber shop. It's the Funhouse.
He's going to have the Jerrytron 5000.
I'm telling you, months from now, I'm gonna save this podcast, and when he makes this work, I'm gonna play it back for you and say, "See, asshole."
So you're saying within months he's gonna be WWE champion using this gimmick?
Maybe not champion, but he'll have it over.
No, I'm not accepting that as a win here. He was WWE champion with his last gimmick.
Within maybe not 6 months. I'd say give him. How long you should take to build somebody? Give him a year.
Tell you what, I'll give you to Mania, and I want you to go ahead and text yourself this gimmick, and I'm going to tell you he's going to be off TV.
By Mania?
Before Mania. Now, granted, now he'll be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And at this point, he'll be part of the whole No Way Jose crap.
No. He's gonna have a match on Mania.
Is it going to be a singles match? Because if it's not a singles match, I don't consider it an actual like.
Yeah, it's gonna be a singles match.
Over.
It's gonna be a singles match.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I want you to go ahead and tell me who Bray Wyatt as Mr. Rogers is actually going to be against at WrestleMania next year.
I don't know yet. He just debuted Monday.
I'm going to say that if you're lucky, he gets Rey Mysterio.
No. It'll be an upper mid card. I bet
you.
You
don't think? Hey, whoa, bro. Rey Mysterio just had a match to get into the match, to be at the match at Money in the Bank.
You don't even believe that shit. That's why you're laughing.
But I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you right now.
This gimmick is not going to get him to the level of being world champion. In fact, you know what? He'll be lucky if he gets to the point where at SummerSlam he's up against The Miz. And we already said that The Miz is probably number 3 on that list of baby faces.
You froze up. I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I think that The Miz, we've proven, is no higher than number 3 on that babyface list right now. Now, granted, a lot of people think AJ Styles is going to turn heel against Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I'm hoping not, because I like the idea. Who?
Who you say was going to turn heel?
AJ Styles.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties. Apparently, the internet wants to give out on us. But yeah, so right now, there's rumors that AJ Styles turns heel against Seth Rollins so that way they can keep the feud going. I would rather see AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins in a singles one-on-one match where it really does go like, man, you know what? Those two could go 60 minutes in an Iron Man match.
Yeah. And that is going to be a good match. AJ and Seth will put on the match, probably the match of the night. I don't think anybody's going to beat that match.
No, I don't think anybody can. I mean, well, you know what? Kofi versus Kevin Owens probably could. It give him a run for the money.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So, Tino, we've been going for about an hour and a half.
Oh, damn.
Anything you want to add? No, stop doing that.
Sasha's still.
Stop doing that. You got a wife. You're not supposed to be making that kind of noise.
Shut up. I'm thinking Sasha is still a millennial crybaby bitch.
Yes, we know that. Yeah.
And I like the Bray Wyatt new character.
Yeah, no.
And shut up. And Alexa Bliss, when is she going to wrestle again?
She wrestled like a week ago. She beat Bayley.
That's not saying much. Everybody beats Bayley.
Yeah, but Bayley slapped Charlotte in the face.
Everybody beats Bayley. Want to impress me? Put her against Becky 2 belts.
Who, Alexa?
Yes.
Well, then Alexa walks out with 2 belts. They don't want to do that yet.
No, Alexa will get burnt by that straight fire.
We both know that wouldn't happen.
Wait. You think Alexa Bliss can beat Becky Lynch?
In a scripted match where Vince McMahon gets his favorite girl over? Absolutely.
If Alexa was his favorite girl, she'd have a belt.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
In fact, if I had to guess, I think the reason why you still see Alexa right now is because they know, A, her in-ring talent is not at the same level. Okay, I will grant that. But her charisma and ability to deliver the message is more over than any other of the female superstars. So she gets carte blanche on the A show every week, even though she doesn't have to wrestle anymore. Tell me I'm wrong.
With no belt.
She's
She
had
no
the belt.
belt.
She's had the belt. She's had them more often than Becky. Doesn't matter that Becky's got both at the same time. Alexa was like, you know what? I'm only going to go for one because don't need to go for both. I'm already over.
Folks, you can find him on Twitter at Potsy. What the hell is that?
It's a pug butt.
Folks, Rob's had too much to drink, so we're going to cut this right now.
What are you talking about? No, I haven't had too much to drink.
You can find him at Pot Chat. I'm at Hootie Fan 91. Potsy and Tino. You can also check us out on Facebook, the Potsy and Tino Show. As always, we want to say thank you to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song. And as always, folks, I can hear Ric Flair on that big house. And he is saying, woo, woo. Good night. I'm going to let Rob go play with his pug butt now.
Is it just me or does that guy actually sound like AJ Styles?
Who?
The singer. Here, listen.
I never heard AJ sing.
Listen.